This is Aaron Freed with Blue Ribbon Flies in West Yellowstone, Montana. And today we're going to be tying the Stubby ant, another one of our new for 2020 fly patterns. And the fly is so named because we're using the Stubby T hook, which is new from Umpqua. XT050 is the model number, and it's a really nice wide gap hook for terrestrials like this one. So we're using a size 14. And we're going to start, we're using Rusty Brown Ultra Thread in the 8/0. And we're just going to lay a little thread base down, go about halfway down the bend, and then come back to about the point. And from there we're going to tie in a strip of cinnamon 2mm foam. The strip's about just a little bit over an 1/8 inch wide. If you can adjust accordingly if you're going up or down in size, but we're going to go ahead and tie that in right at the even with the hook point, and then wrap down over top of that about halfway down the bend where we stopped our thread base. Get that nice and secure. And for a rear segment of the ant, we're going to use our Midge Black Zelon dubbing, and we're going to go ahead make a pretty nice big rear segment on this fly. A lot of the ants that we have here in this area, kind of in late summer, flying ants tend to be two-tone. They have a black rear segment, and then the rest of the ant is cinnamon, so that's what we're going to do here. So once we have that, we're going to dub right up to the hook point once again. We'll fold our foam over. We'll go ahead and tie that down and give a good number of wraps in there, form a nice distinct segment there. And we're going to have two wings on this fly, reminiscent of chubby Chernobyl or other bigger terrestrials. And we're using silver gray original EP fibers for the wing on this fly. And so we'll go ahead and tie in a bunch of those fibers. Go ahead and clip those butts fairly short. Make sure that's tied down good. And then we'll clip that wing just even with the butt of the fly there. Now, for the middle segment, we're going to go ahead, move that thread just in front of the foam. We're going to have hackle for legs, so I'm going to take a brown hackle, tie that in right at the back of what will be the middle segment, and we'll just go ahead and clip that out of the way for now with our vise pond. And the middle segment we're going to use pheasant tail Zelon dubbing, just kind of a rusty color. And we're going to make this segment not quite as bushy as the previous one. I got a little bit too much dubbing on there. And make sure you do leave a little bit of space between the front of that segment and the eye there. Now we'll go ahead, pull that foam back as far as you can, and we're gonna form our legs. We're just gonna palmer that hackle over right over top of that middle segment there, about 4 to 5 turns. Tie it off, trim that out of the way. Now, before we fold this down, we're going to go ahead and clip those fibers out of the middle on top there. So now you've got legs out either side, if you can see that. Go ahead and lay that foam down. This is why you wanted to have a little bit of space between that middle segment and the eye, just so you have a little bit of room to tie that foam back and form that second segment. So again, you've got wings out either side, or legs out either side, excuse me, with the wing on top. we're going to go ahead and add our second wing. Same EP fibers, silver gray, on top there. Go ahead and clip those butts nice and short. And we'll trim this one just about even with that wing right behind it. So it's just a little bit longer, but you have a nice even taper there. And then we'll go ahead and pull our foam back. Got a little bit extra stray hackle fibers in there. We'll trim those in a second. So pull that back. Go ahead and whip finish. Trim the thread. Trim the foam just out over the eye, so we have our third segment on that ant. And then the last step is we'll go ahead and trim the hackle on the underside so that that fly rides a little bit lower. Trim it about even with the hook point. So that is the Stubby ant. It's been a great fly for us, both on area rivers like the Madison. Floats really well, easy to see on choppy water, but still has a nice natural profile. Works really well for still water fish too, eating ants out on Hebgen Lake, Quick Lake, waters like that. It's the Stubby ant.